So I want to share this while it's fresh in my mind because I was at the doctor the other day. And I really want to talk about preparing to go to the doctor because that is something that I didn't know was necessary before I was diagnosed. And even after being diagnosed with Addison's, I didn't realize how much went into preparing for going to the doctor. And I'm going to share what I've done and a really radical new tool that I have started using that I want to share. So first and foremost, it is totally okay to acknowledge that going to the doctor is incredibly stressful. If you have been battling chronic illnesses for a really long time and been waiting to get diagnosed, you have seen many doctors and had many doctors, for the most part, either not listen to you or not hear you or not necessarily respect you, and that can be a little disheartening and frustrating. So every time I go to the doctor, I know that I have a bit of anxiety because if it's a new doctor, my thoughts are, will they listen to me? Will they hear me? Will they be patient with me? Will they want to help me? And that's really kind of a scary thing to think about. So acknowledging that going into the doctor is a stressful thing is the first step of going to the doctor, which is why it's really important to have tools with you when you go. So the first thing that I learned that I needed essentially, and then I'm going to share the new thing that I'm using, is I would bring like a binder with me, a legit binder of my entire medical history, because in my past, when I didn't know what to do, I just took notes and I journaled literally everything. The food I was eating, how often I was going to the bathroom, how I was feeling after every single meal, literally for years. So I have all that information, and then all my doctor visits and all my doctors, my x-rays, my blood samples, literally everything chronologically filed in a binder, and I would bring that. But the other thing that I found that I really needed before going into the doctor is a blank notebook with a space to write notes, but also going in already with the questions that I want to ask, because I found that if I just had questions in my mind and then went to the doctor, as soon as I got there, brain fog would set in, or I would feel a lot of anxiety or pressure or really uncomfortable, and I wouldn't remember anything. So I would pre-write all my questions down. What happens if I double dose my fludrocortisone, or I want to wean down on my steroid? Any questions that I have, I will pre-write down. So that way when I go into my doctor, I can have my little notebook and be like, okay, these are the things I want to ask you while I am here paying for your time. So please answer my questions. Having that notebook has been a game changer. Another thing that I found was that I'd go in and ask my doctor all these questions and I wouldn't remember anything. I had no idea what she would say. Maybe I'd write notes, but I couldn't decipher what I had written. So I found that recording my doctor's appointment was a really great way to revisit all the topics that we discussed while in there. You're really only given a very short amount of time with your doctor when you're actually in the room with them. So that time is valuable, and you want to hold on to any information or things that are discussed so that way you have it. So those are some of the things that I had going in. Going into any doctor's office too, I'll bring my, and I know these are in a lot of my videos, but my soundproof headphones. If I'm feeling overwhelmed and anxiety in the waiting room, I can put that on to drown out all the noise. I have my VOG mask, which I'll share the link in here as well, but it's just a, it's like one of those disposable face masks that you can get in a hospital, but it's reusable, so you're not being wasteful. And I'll wear that if I'm worried about getting any additional germs to just like help my body stay as healthy as possible. And then sometimes I might stress dose depending on when I get there, but I will bring tons and tons and tons of water and snacks and secretly even eat them in the doctor's office when they're not around, because I don't know that they're not okay with it, but I don't know. I just got to take care of myself while I'm in there. So those are the things that I've done that have helped me. Then of course I'm pocketing all my crystals and all my magic with me. But there's this super cool, amazing new tool that I discovered through the National Adrenal Disease Foundation. It's an app called Backpack, and I'm not 100% fluent in it in any way, shape, or form. I just started playing with it, but it's amazing. It's literally everything I talked about, that giant, massive binder condensed down into your phone or your iPad, or whatever sort of technology thing that you store your apps on. it's basically like a portable little technology backpack. And you get to plug in all of your information, all of your doctor's notes, you can even plug in like your x-rays, all the medication you're on, any doctor's notes. You can upload the PDFs and then have it all stored in one small, easy to carry thing versus these big, massive binders that you're carrying around. And then another really cool component that I haven't got to utilize yet, but you're actually able to share your medical ID card from the app. And that way when you're with somebody, or like I know if I'm with somebody new, I like to do a lot of backpacking and a lot of hiking. And if I'm going with someone that maybe doesn't really have a lot of experience with my condition, I typically will like sit them down and explain my disease and talk about what to do if anything happens. But this way you can literally share your medical ID card. It'll transfer to their email or their phone or however you share it from this app. Then that way if anything were to happen, they can literally just show the phone to a medical professional and they can do all the things that they need to do for your body. And this is not just for adrenal disease or Addison's. This app, Backpack, is just a health, full-on medical wellness app to have all of your information in one area. I do know that the National Adrenal Disease Foundation has its own like subcategory in the Backpack app that you can click on and get a part of, just so all of us Addisonians and adrenal disease people can have our stuff and information together. Not that it's like being shared out, it's just there. I don't really fully understand it, but it's awesome. It's such a great way to have all of your information in one set place. So I'm still slowly, because I have so much medical stuff, like I said, from my giant binder to transfer over. So I'm still working on transferring everything over to my backpack, but yeah, it's so awesome to have it all in one tiny place versus that giant thing, which I think will actually make going to the doctor a lot less stressful and a lot less stuff to bring with me. So yeah, that's gonna be a really awesome new tool, which I haven't used yet in a doctor's office yet since getting this app, but I'm excited to play with it. And once I get a little bit more fluent in it, I can share a little bit more about it. But I just was really excited about it and just had a most recent doctor's visit and just was like, ugh, this is something we need to talk about, because going to the doctor's is kind of a ordeal on its own. So if you have other things that you do at the doctor's office that help you navigate or help you stay on top of things before going into the office, please share them so that way we can work together and support each other on our journey. Thanks so much, friends.